All right, so first news story of the day. DC finally, well, they have their new heads of DC Studios now. The people are going to be guiding the DC projects from now on. Relatively is what we now know. It is going to be James Gunn and Peter Safran. James Gunn, of course, we know of his work doing the Guardians trilogy, as well as doing the Suicide Squad for DC, as well as doing the Peacemaker show for HBO Max. So he's well versed in doing the comic book stuff. Peter Safran is a producer. He who produced the Suicide Squad. He also did the Conjuring movie. He also did Aquaman, and he also did The Nun, as well as some of kind of the movies he's done. So he's done some kind of horror stuff mostly. The Conjuring movies, The Nun, and he also did Shazam as well, was another movie he produced. They're going to be, instead of having kind of one Kevin Feige over there at Marvel, they're going to be kind of the two kind of people they're going to have there in the DC studios, who are going to be running things. What do you think about this decision there, Nick?
Well, I think on paper, this is probably the best decision that Warner Brothers and DC could have possibly made, because you have a guy in James Gunn who is a creator that, just judging from both the Suicide Squad, the Guardians movies, Peacemaker, has a deep love and respect and appreciation for comics, and gets these characters and knows how to incorporate them into a larger universe. And you also have a more producer mindset with Peter Safran, who's worked with James Gunn a lot throughout his career. He was like a producer on PG Porn back in the day, and was working together with him on Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, and also the Belko Experiment, which Gunn wrote.
Yeah.
And he's also producing Blue Beetle in Aquaman.
Yeah, crossing my fingers for Blue Beetle. Still, this is crossing my fingers.
Yeah, but I think out of all of the completely boneheaded decisions that David Zaslav has made, this is one of the smarter ones. This is possibly the best possible decision, especially because they're trying to bring it more focused onto a lot of the tentpole DC characters, like the announcement that Henry Cavill's back as Superman, continuing more with the Batman, doing more stuff with Wonder Woman. You need a guy like James Gunn who understands all these characters and knows how to rein them in. And something that I think is really striking, just interviews that he was talking about with the Suicide Squad and with, well, most of his projects, Gunn is a collaborative guy. He likes hearing the input from the people that he's working with. He likes taking their input. He likes, appreciates, and likes feedback, which I think is something that's needed with a big overarching producer, like very much like he has taken on the Kevin Feige role for DC.
So this is via The Hollywood Reporter. It says the hierarchy of power in the DC universe really is changing. In stunning turn of events, filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran has tapped to lead DC's film, TV, and animation efforts as co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios, a newly formed division at Warner Brothers that will replace DC Films. The unprecedented move, in which a top director will assume a top executive post, marks the end of months-long search by Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, replaced DC film boss Walter Hamada, who departed the studio last week. That search had all of Hollywood guessing and playing executive bingo from who would land on one of the most coveted and challenging jobs in town. Recent weeks, Gunn and Safran were spotted at Warner Brothers lot, meeting with Warner's film co-chair Michael DeLucia about future projects, and according to sources, the initial overturn to Safran and Gunn came from DeLucia over the summer, even as studios was in shaky talks with producer Dan Lin to take the job. Gunn will focus on the creative side of things, while Safran will focus on the business and production side. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects respectively. They will report directly to Zaslav and work closely with Warner's film bosses DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. Sources say the deal runs 4 years. Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not to just be producers, but to truly function as executives, even as Gunn will occasionally hone a movie. So it sounds interesting. It's it's interesting. They to see kind of what's going to happen. I do like James Gunn. I like the superhero stuff. I pretty much liked all the super stuff he's done. I like Suicide Squad a lot. I like the Guardians films. Especially really love the first one. I think the first Guardians film is top 5 MCU film, possibly. And I think the second Guardians, I've warmed up more to the second Guardians every time I watch it. I do kind of like that one quite a bit. And then now he's going to be doing the third one, and then he's got the holiday special coming out. And then people trying to pitch it as like people are mad like over at Marvel that James Gunn went to DC. That Kevin Feige is going to be super upset, even though Kevin Feige, I believe, was the one who convinced Disney to rehire James Gunn to come back to do Guardians.
Yeah, Feige was the guy who went to bat for Gunn during the whole his like phase of being fired by Disney. Feige went to bat. A lot of his cast did as well, and that's why he came back. And also that whole firing thing was complete bullshit, and everybody knew it.
Yeah, so he kind of worked with him, and he had a quote that said he was happy for him, happy for Gunn, getting the job and everything like that. It's kind of a tricky situation that Gunn and Safran have taken over because we all know the influx of all the things that's kind of going on at DC, and people does one bad thing after the other. I don't know how. I think Black Adam's performing pretty well in the box office, from what I understand.
Fairly well.
I think it's performing pretty decently. So yeah, given everything kind of going on with that, hopefully, if that's successful, then they'll continue that. But yeah, I mean, what's weird about DC right now is kind of they have these different movies and these different universes. Like you have Joker, which they mentioned in the article, Hollywood Reporter, that it's like Joker's off in its own thing, and then you have The Batman with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. That's kind of off in its own thing. But then you also have the universe that you have now with like Henry Cavill and then Gal Gadot and then Ben Affleck, who I guess is coming back as Batman now. And then what are you going to do? Like, what's going to happen in the Flash movie? How is that going to change things? Are you going to replace Ezra Miller as the Flash? Like, what's going to happen there?
I mean, I think at this point, it's like most of these projects are like bigger. They are big money makers. So it'll probably just be a case of let's let all this stuff come out, and then we'll go back to the drawing, and then we'll decide what we want to be canon, what we don't want. And I think Gunn is probably one of the guys that can handle that ship better than most. I mean, even they said that Gunn is going to be more on the creative producing side, and Safran is going to be the business side of it, which I think is a smart move because who the fuck can possibly do both?
Yeah. And them reporting directly to Zaslav, and there's lots of reports of like Zaslav and who he is as a person, and that they're trying to not have maybe a lot of diversity kind of go on, with Warner Brothers, and does that mean they're not really gonna greenlit that many superheroes that are that are maybe black or other kind of ethnicities or other sexual identities or anything like that. Which I did just recently read an article that they're going to refocus the Green Lantern show that's supposed to be coming out completely on Jon Stewart Green Lantern. They're going to do that, which I just was reading an article about that. So that's kind of interesting, even though I think that should be probably a movie, Green Lantern movie, because I think enough time has passed where you could do a Green Lantern movie. And that since Safran is the producer of Blue Beetle, maybe that's a good chance that maybe that's a good sign that, hey, that's good to go, and that's going to be coming out. I'm excited to be seeing that. I think, that looks pretty good from when I set photos. I mean, that costume looks spot on. It does look absolutely spot on. And, what the vision is, because Zaslav said, like, they wanted like a whole 10-year plan, like how Marvel has, like they have like, we're going to, Marvel has a whole lineup. We're going to get Marvel movies till the day we die. Like every it's going to be Marvel movies, Marvel shows, movies, everything. You're going to get Marvel shit shoved in your face. So you're trying to create something similar to that in the DC with Warner Brothers with DC. With him kind of being with more kind of the overseer, Gunn and Safran being the overseers with the creative stuff, with the business stuff. What do you think that outlook looks like? Like, do you think it'll be more focused like on doing comedy? Do you think James Gunn will let people just like, I'm going to let you cook, let you do your thing? Or like, how do you think that's going to kind of shape out there?
Well, I think I don't imagine James Gunn is going to be the guy that is going to be super hands on the wheel with producing a lot of these films. I think, because he's kind of had the fortune to be on both sides of that. He had the opportunity to be on the, director side, coming off of just straight up indie films, and then getting more creative leeway than I think a big studio would have given anybody at the time with the first Guardians film. And he understands how beneficial that is to a young filmmaker. So I think it's going to be more hands off. They're going to be more just sitting in on storyboards, making sure that stuff is connected, or at least more focused than it has been in the past.
Okay, yeah. Next up on the horizon for DC, you got Aquaman and Shazam, which is coming out next year. See how those are. Hopefully they're pretty good. And the movie that came out just recently for DC was Black Adam, which we both thought was just okay. It was just
fine.
Just whatever. Yeah. So that was news there for James Gunn. Going into getting some trailers, getting more of the comic book news. Here we have, speaking of James Gunn, we now have a trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Did you get a chance to check out this trailer?
Yes, I did. And I'm so happy that we're getting of Gunn with the Guardians of the Galaxy, because, like you said, Guardians 1 is probably top 5 films in the MCU, period. And I adore Guardians Volume 2. I've adored most of Gunn's writing, and getting to do something much more smaller scale, very much like they did with Werewolf by Night, getting to do this like nice little holiday special. And I just love the idea of Drax and Mantis going to Hollywood to kidnap Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Like more of these kind of Marvel special presentations there. Like you said, that they did with Marvel Werewolf by Night, which I think is pretty nice. I think that's pretty cool. Again, trying to do different, more interesting things with the brand with Marvel now, instead of just TV shows, movies, trying to do a little bit more creative stuff with it. So this is kind of interesting there. And, them doing, going to Hollywood to kidnap Kevin Bacon, call back to the joke in Infinity War, where I think because Peter Quill mentioned that Footloose was his favorite movie,
yeah, Footloose was his favorite movie, and they joke, Earth's mightiest heroes. You mean like Kevin Bacon? He might be on the team. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
So that's that was kind of nice. It seems like a good callback joke to that. So I think this could be a really kind of good, fun opportunity just to, have a good time, trying to cheer, Peter Quill up now that, he lost the sexiest green chick in the galaxy, trying to get her back, there. So I think, it could be, really good chance to, have some good humor, have some good laughs. And I think that Gunn did it. He's really great at writing. I think that's kind of makes him. He's really good at writing losers. I think and writing kind of people who are not all that self-aware. How much they are a loser, and I think that kind of makes it endearing, in a way. And then you got some other people who's going to show up, like Cosmo, who's going to show up here, who's the dog, who's going to be voiced by the woman from Borat 2, like Maria Belkova.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit! She's the one with the dog. Oh, yeah. That's so cool. And I like that we're seeing a little bit of rivalry between the dog Cosmo and Rocket.
Yeah, which is very akin to the comics. They have very much a little bit of a rivalry in the comics too. So it's very much like the comics. So it's it's supposed to be fun. I think it's coming out in November, which
I think it's coming out Thanksgiving. I guess holiday season basically starts right after Halloween, anyways.
Yeah, basically. I mean, in stores, you'll go and look. They already got Christmas shit up. I mean, you'll go, the Santa's already up. The lights are already up. That shit's already, they got that shit already out before Halloween, basically. I know.
The Happy Halloween sign is slowly peeling away, and you can see, the tinsel and stars for Christmas.
Yeah, stores, they get that shit up fast. They're like, listen, fuck that. Halloween, okay, that's good. Now, throw up all the Christmas shit. Get that Christmas shit up there. And you're right. So November 25th is when it's going to be coming out there. that this is coming out. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. Then another trailer that we have, keeping with the Marvel vein here, is Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm. There, which this trailer, I mean, everybody's pretty much a lot. Oh, well, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Everyone's excited for it to see Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, and I pretty much had one reaction when I saw the trailer. It's like talking to the Avengers. Y'all are fucked.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that they're gonna bring Kang in this movie in Quantumania, you know, and kind of him be the big threat here. In the trailer, you see how, you know, life is for Ant-Man, who I guess out of all the heroes, Ant-Man is really more of a man of the people. He's like more of a regular kind of guy, it seems like, because he's more kind of like, he seems like a guy that you just would maybe more see in regular everyday life. Like some of these other Avengers are more like on a higher status or anything, but you know, Scott just seems like, oh, it's just Scott. It's a regular guy, you know what I mean? Hanging out with him. And you see kind of how like, oh yeah,
a little bit of like the fame is kind of getting to Scott Lang. And I think, you know, just having this little, dynamic with his daughter Cassie, who in this film is played by Catherine Newton. I think what they're going for is kind of mirroring Hank Pym's dynamic with his own daughter, and how he became so focused on, like, obsessed with trying to get Janet out of the quantum realm that he just neglected his daughter. I think we're getting something similar between Scott and Cassie here.
And his daughter was in Endgame. Wasn't that played by the Russo's daughter? Like Russo's kid? Or
no? In Endgame, she was played by an actor named Emma Furman, who, from what I hear, Emma Furman apparently violated the NDA and gave away her role to the press prior to the film's release. That's what I heard. I can't speak to if that's true or not.
Oh, damn. Damn, she fumbled the bag like that? Damn. Oh, wow. I hope that's not the case. Damn. I guess they told it, like, you ain't Tom Holland, you ain't Spider-Man. We just can't, you know what I mean? We easily recast you. People don't even remember you from Endgame.
So I just pulled this up from Screen Rant. Hold on. Yeah, I just pulled this up from Screen Rant. So apparently the decision to recast Cassie Lang was they wanted a bigger star in the role, because Catherine Newton, I think right before the news came out, she was just in Freaky to great critical acclaim, versus Emma Furman, who isn't really that big of a name going forward.
Yeah,
which is terrible, which is kind of tragic.
Yeah. She was also in Detective Pikachu, Catherine Newton. She was in Detective Pikachu, as well. She was also in Paranormal Activity 4. She was also in Blockers. Oh yeah, she was in Blockers too. She was also in that movie. So she's got a little bit more of a resume than Emma Furman does. Okay, so I can kind of see that she's got a little bit more of a resume there. Also, she was in Supernatural. Oh yeah, I do. I think I do remember her in Supernatural. I think I do. So she's got a little bit more of a resume there than the other woman. So you kind of see that kind of is going to maybe mirror the relationship Hank Pym had with his daughter in the first movie. Scott Lang's going to have with her, with his daughter Cassie in this movie. That's kind of an interesting kind of point. I think, I'm excited at the fact that this movie is going to be primarily in the quantum realm. It seems like majority of it, that they're going to be in this other world. It's not just going to be like, because the Ant-Man movies take place in San Francisco, which San Francisco is a beautiful city, really beautiful city, but the nice that they're going to go to this completely other realm and kind of explore it. I don't mean to talk bad about the VFX artists or the people that work on this, because I know they're, very stressed and they work hard. But I did think that this kind of looked like some Spy Kids shit when they're there in their suits, and it did look a little bit like some Spy Kids shit. I mean, did you not kind of get that feel?
It's the first teaser trailer. These things happen. They still got time to work on these things.
True. That is very true. But I mean, we kind of saw that a little bit with She-Hulk, of like, it kind of looked bad, and then when the show kind of came out, it was like, it still kind of looks kind of bad. It wasn't as bad as maybe the first teaser that you saw of She-Hulk, but it was still kind of rough. Yeah, I that's what I kind of thought with kind of the trailer. I mean, there's some good shots here, like when they show like this quantum realm, like they have a whole city here. Like that would be kind of interesting to kind of explore. And then it seems like also with Kang, you're gonna get comic, accurate where he's in his outfit and everything like that, as you see in the trailer there, where he's got his helmet on and everything like that. Who's played by Jonathan Majors in this. And then you also have like Bill Murray, who seems like maybe he's gonna be like the mayor of this like quantum, city or whatever. And it's gonna be interesting for Michelle Pfeiffer, who's gonna return to the quantum realm after being trapped there for decades. To see her kind of return and to kind of be the guide for them in this place, it's kind of going to be very interesting to see kind of what she's going to be able to kind of show them and show them around. For you, kind of what are you kind of most excited for in this?
I'm most excited for this because like we were saying before, Phase 4 has kind of felt a little bit aimless in a lot of the films. I mean, obviously, no, with the announcement at Comic-Con, of course, they're setting up for Secret Wars in Kang Dynasty. But I think this is the film that's going to turn things around for Marvel. In terms of because this is supposed to be the film that introduces the big bad for Phase 5, which is Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror. And just the caliber of actor that he is, with this air of menace that he has throughout the entire trailer and even in his appearance, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, and to see what type of Kang that this is, to see if he's maybe a more nicer Kang. Is he a more kind of more conqueror Kang? Are we dealing with? Is this the Kang that's going to be the villain that we see throughout the rest of the kind of the MCU is going to be the new big bad here? That's kind of going to be very interesting to kind of if we can kind of see that.
And I'm calling it now. I don't think this version of Kang. I think we see more than just this variant of Kang throughout the rest of Phase 5 and 6, up until we get to Kang Dynasty. I think we get him in other variants in other films. Like, I think we get a different version of him in Fantastic Four.
Okay. Funny you bring that up. The actor from The Good Place, he announced he's going to be in this movie.
Yeah, I just saw that. William Jackson Harper, from who plays Chidi in The Good Place, he was also in Midsommar, and he was in the second season of HBO Max's Love Life. And he is cast in an undisclosed role. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but literally a year ago to the day, I tweeted like a fan casting of the MCU's Fantastic Four, and he was Reed Richards. So I just want to warn you and the stream now, if that is what he turns out to be, I will never shut up about it. Yeah. I will never shut up that I called it like a year before it happened.
Yeah. And he did say that he did comment on the rumor because there is a little bit of a fan campaign for him to play Reed Richards. He said, I am not playing Reed Richards, but we know how that goes. Tatiana Maslany, she said she wouldn't want to be She-Hulk, and then look how that turned out. But so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Reed Richards, simply because I don't think you would introduce him as like a side character and for only a little bit in just this movie. I know they did kind of do that with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, but that was like kind of like a cameo type
that
thing.
Was literally just done for fan service.
Yeah.
And also, because we get Kang the Conqueror, he's like a very, 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 very direct descendant of Reed Richards in the comics. It's like, I think Kang's real name is Nathaniel Richards.
Okay. Yeah. So, yes, I don't think he's gonna be Reed Richards. I don't think they would introduce him in this. I think they would just wait till the Fantastic Four movie to do that. But I don't know. I'd love to be proved wrong. I'd love to be proved wrong if that was the case. Yeah. Yeah. That was Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer discussion. That is it for the trailers. We're going to get into a little last news, and then we're going to be heading out. And I might as well just stay on for a little bit longer, since it's almost 10 anyway. All right, we're going to begin to Matthew Perry. Some news with him. What the hell is he talking about? Well, he's talking about Keanu Reeves here for some reason. So Matthew Perry, this is CNN right here. It says, apologize for questioning why Keanu Reeves still walks among us. There was backlash after outlets shared an excerpt from his forthcoming memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, in which Perry talks about the 1993 death of his friend actor River Phoenix and references another actor, Keanu Reeves. Here's the quote from here's the excerpt from the book here. It says, Rivers was a beautiful man inside and out, too beautiful for this world. It turned out it always seems to be the really talented guys who go down, Perry wrote. Why is it that the original thinkers like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger died, but Keanu Reeves still walks among us? Perry is now apologizing. I'm actually a big fan of Keanu. I just chose a random name. My mistake, he said in a statement to People. I apologize. I should have used my own name instead. CNN says here, reached out to Perry and Reeves for comment. I guess nothing yet. So yeah, that's what he said. What do you kind of think about this news here?
Okay, it's kind of hilarious that he's calling out Keanu not having any talent when he was a contributing factor to like one of the worst sitcoms of all time. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Friends.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, hey, man, incredibly popular show. People do love some Friends. I'm more.
Just because something's popular doesn't make it good.
True. True. I mean, I'm more of a living single guy myself, but yeah, everybody's got their own cup of tea there. Yeah, it just seems kind of. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, he just says, I threw out a random name. I guess out of all the names you would throw, why?
Nah, bullshit.
I mean, I think
bullshit.
I mean, I don't know if Keanu Reeves and him were going for the same roles back in the 90s. I mean, were they in competition with each other? I don't know if they were, and he lost out a lot of roles to Keanu Reeves.
Look at Matthew Perry in the 90s and look going for the.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possibly where the beef is. I wouldn't imagine so, given, I mean, they seem like they're in two different kind of, demographics there when it comes to kind of leading men. I think he brought up his name for one thing because he knows how beloved Keanu Reeves is especially nowadays, just off of John Wick and just off of the fact that by all accounts he is a very cool person, and he picked a name and wished him dead because he wanted people to like pay attention to his book. Yeah. Maybe just draw attention to his book, his memoir he's got coming out. Probably more than likely kind of what it is. Because he, like you said, he just should have used his name to begin with. Would have been more, kind of humble if he just kind of did that instead of just throwing some random name out there. Even if he threw any other actor's name, it's like, why are you putting them in it? And then, it's like, what the hell? That would be kind of weird. And yeah, I mean, River Phoenix and Heath Ledger were two really great talents. River Phoenix, great actors, the limited amount that we saw him in there. He seems like he had the whole package. He had the look, he had the talent of an actor, great talent. So, you kind of had that going for him. And then Heath Ledger, same thing. I mean, we saw, what a great talent he was in the limited time he was with us. So yeah, I mean, that's a shame that kind of great talents like that do kind of burn out and kind of fade away like that. But you kind of see them. But I mean, yeah, I think that is very kind of disrespectful just to throw Keanu Reeves' name out there. But I mean, Keanu Reeves, he probably doesn't even know what's going on. He probably is off meditating on a mountain or something, like, doing yoga or some shit. I don't know.
He's too busy like hitting the mats for jiu-jitsu practice, getting ready for John Wick 5. He's got bigger shit to deal with than this petty attempt at starting a rap beef.
Yeah, so he's Keanu Reeves is in his own other world, so he doesn't probably even care about any of this stuff anyway. Yeah, so yeah, that was kind of your weird news of the day there.
It's like Matthew Perry is like, I guess people haven't been talking about me for a while. What can I do to get a huge amount of clicks real quick? Go after Keanu, which I think backfired horrifically. I mean, literally everybody is on Keanu's side in this beef.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, just throwing a random name out there, like especially Keanu, like you said, who he's the internet's love right now. He's their darling right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's the internet's daddy. So yeah, it's wrong kind of go after him right now.
Hey, he is breathtaking.
Yeah, you're breathtaking. Yeah, he's pretty amazing. What's his next movie? John Wick 4? Is that the next one? John Wick 4.
Yeah, John Wick Chapter 4, which I think we broke down the teaser on the stream, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna be getting out of here.